Okay. I forget what the hell I'm doing. It's one of those days. You think I've never done this before? All right. So, yeah, we are officially live now that I remembered how to run the damn thing. Except on Rumble, which doesn't seem to want to cooperate right now. Trying that for the shits and giggles of it. Let's see if I can get that figured out real quick. I don't know why it's not working. I'll just remove that. Period. So I'm not trying to set it all up again. For some reason, it didn't want to work. Anyway, for those of you watching on YouTube and Twitter, evening, and welcome to this week unloaded number 212. So far on the panel, we have Mr. Rob D, the New York Outcast. How are you tonight?
Doing all right. Doing okay. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for having me. And I heard DM Foss is out there. Yeah, just like to say that guy's trouble. They were considering stealing my poll questions to use on his show the other night, which is actually fine. But I'd expect to get like a bag of peanuts or something in the mail. So, yeah.
Well, he's a mouse. He's not going to share the cheese, for sure.
Yeah, I know. I like cheese, but you can forget about cheese. Yeah, that's like asking a leprechaun for his gold or something. It's just not going to happen. So, yeah, some peanuts or something will work.
Croutons for your salad, maybe?
Yeah, but it's supposed to be something extra. Yeah.
Well, the croutons will be extra because salads don't always come with croutons. So he sends you croutons, and when you make a salad, you got extra from your salad.
Brownies, something like that. Not socks.
Yeah. The socks are for Christmas. He says you can't prove that there was any wrongdoing.
Yeah, I didn't get that show yet, so I'm actually behind on the last two, which is abnormal. But I've been busier than usual lately, so doing what I can.
Oh, go ahead. What were you gonna say?
None. I finished.
Oh, okay. I thought you were still saying something. Never mind. My hearing's bad now. I got that hearing. I found out I got hearing problems when I went to go see the specialist for my sinuses and tinnitus, and then he sent me to get a hearing test, and my hearing's all fucked up now too. Like I needed anything else wrong.
Yeah, shitty deal.
Yeah. But not unusual if you served in the military. Happens quite often. Tinnitus and hearing loss are one of the most claimed disabilities that the VA deals with. Yeah, Woods out there in response to Foss said Washingtonians are sketchy. Oh, he would know. He is one. And in response to Faust out there complaining about us not being on time, he had a link. He could have jumped in here. Maybe we could have got on time. I don't know. He could have reminded us what time I had it scheduled for. And Chris from the 740's out there too. Evening, Chris. And again, congratulations to you and Christian on his graduation.
I like how Foss was saying on his show how they're tolerant over there when he goes overseas with his wife and whatnot. They're tolerant of him. They're nice. They're very tolerant.
Depends on where you go.
It just had me cracking up. I'm like, yeah. He's like, if we end up separating. I get lost from her. I'm in trouble. Like,
Yeah,
I
as long
bet
as he's
you
with
are.
her. I'm going to assume he was talking about when he goes over to Japan. He's married to a Japanese woman, isn't he?
Coffee fee.
If he was in here, we could ask him, but he's not using his link. So.
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, cultures are very different. So I think more shockingly different than most people know.
Chris says, thank you. He's glad that it's over, referring to his son's graduation this past week.
Yeah, I bet. Lots of people, all the hustle and bustle, finding a place to park, doing the handshake. You got the other people's parents. Yeah, it's all damn. Yeah, you're glad you only got to do it, once, basically. Well, I guess, I mean, how many kids? And if you count like 6th grade graduation, which I think is funny, like.
Yeah, I was like, we had 8th grade graduation when I was in middle school. I'm like, I'm not going to that. That's not a real graduation.
Yeah, you still go with your friends and shit, whatever. But it's
shit. That was the last day of school. I wasn't going.
Man, it's kind of funny. Yeah, it might have been 8th grade. I don't know. I don't remember what it was, but it seemed like when you went from elementary, you had a graduation in the middle, and then from middle, you had one to high. So
yeah, we didn't have the elementary graduation when I was in school. They just started doing the middle school graduation. I was like, screw that.
Probably just an excuse for the teachers to throw a party on like the last day or something. Like thank God we're getting rid of this load.
No, I went to Cedar Point instead. It's either go to the 8th grade graduation or go to Cedar Point. I went to Cedar Point. I think I made the better decision.
Yeah, so you've been busy this week? Anything interesting?
Have I been busy? Not really. But, oh, geez, now Foss is out there dropping Run DMC lyrics. Yes, I do know some rap things, people. May not be my favorite genre, but I do know some of it. But we do have an announcement for later in the show that I managed to put together this week with a certain major company, which will be beneficial to the channel and to the viewers. So we'll discuss that when we get to that point.
Nice. About time Excedrin jumped on board.
No, it's not Excedrin. People who may have seen my community tab for the Unloaded Media channel this week may have an idea what I'm talking about.
I don't know, man. I'm subscribed to you. I really don't see your community tab pop up. Like, community tabs, I don't know. It doesn't seem like they show up like a video. Like, sometimes they show up a day later. I don't know. Maybe it's just from what I see, but yeah. The lady here, I'll post something, and sometimes nothing pops up on her end until, it could be like 6 hours later, or she'll see it the next day. Like, it doesn't even roll through.
Yeah, I get very
And
few
no
views.
respect, he subscribed to me, so.
Yeah, I get very few responses on any of my community tab stuff. So I'm
Now,
not surprised.
do you post them often? Because maybe if you don't post them often, they don't push
I
them.
only, yeah, I only post if there's like an update or something that I have, like if I'm not going to be having the show that night or something like what I was just saying that we're going to be talking about later, something along those lines. When I use it, I don't post like every day like some people do. The trivia contest people. You, Ghost, Foss with your trivia questions on there.
I think the questions are cool. I mean, I know, like,
I'm just
our own flavor of stuff, like Ghost is a lot of like pizza or burgers or whatever, but I try to throw different shit out there myself. Yes. So I think it does pretty well,
Yeah,
I'm
not saying it doesn't. I was just busting your balls, Rob. That's all I was doing.
Well, damn, man, leave my balls out of this.
But as for if I won the lottery, I wouldn't tell anybody because I know what's going to happen if I do. My family, who I don't talk to, is going to be at my front door with their hand out, and they ain't getting shit.
Yep. That people from like elementary school, and hey, we went to this or that, or I've thought about you all this time. Like, yeah,
ex-girlfriend showing up. Hey, remember when we had sex that time? Well, you never paid me child support for the kid. What?
Mm-hmm.
Then you end up on whatever replaced Jerry Springer.
Yeah, I just think if all the people that previously knew you or associates of you, a lot of them might act differently if they realize you just stumbled into a bunch of money. So because let's face it, a lot of people are fake. Maybe not at heart, but in general, a lot of people are just fake. So they're nicer to people with money. Yeah, most people. Me, I try to avoid like people with money because they just make me nervous. Some I've come across just feel entitled, and they don't mind. They got attorneys. They don't give a shit. They do what they want to do, basically. So that's concerning to me.
Now, Chris is out there defending you. He says he enjoys yours and Ghost's poll questions. I didn't say I didn't. I was just giving him a hard time. Gosh, people don't understand sarcasm these days, I swear. Try and be humorous for the folks, and they don't even, and it goes right over their head. Of course, it goes over to the host. I mean, the guest. God, I can't talk.
Well, something like that.
Yeah, it goes over people's heads.
So would you buy like a big house and fancy cars and all that shit if you, won $100 million or something like that?
I would definitely buy a house with some land around it, set up a shooting range kind of, and maybe get a pool and stuff like that. Swimming is a very good source of exercise. So,
yeah.
I'm not talking like one of those fancy lagoon-like pools. I'm talking about a pool where you'd swim laps and stuff, and you know what I mean?
Yeah. So you would live comfortable, but you wouldn't go all big time and stuff.
No.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't have a garage full of Ferraris or any shit like that. No.
Yeah. Like, okay. Yeah, me neither. I'd pretty much same type of thing. Land, isolation, with a nice average size home and some hidden extras on the property.
Yeah. I might buy a nice car, but nothing super extravagant. I'm not gonna go out and buy a Bentley or a Rolls Royce or
anything. Yeah. Well, I don't really. I guess maybe rent one if you got the money. You know what I mean? But to buy one, that's just maintenance is ridiculous. You know, some
Uh-huh.
of the vehicles, even just tires for them, is freaking ridiculous. Like,
Yep.
it's a bad investment. You know, so you know,
Yeah, I might buy like a nice Lincoln or a Cadillac or something in that kind of range, but that'll be about it.
yeah, something not crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what I do. I mean, I think the whole giant, house or houses and maids and, you know, 10-person yard crew and all this other shit, that's where you end up broke in 5 years. And you forgot about your taxes and all this shit.
Now, I will say this 10, 15 years ago, before my vision started going bad and I was able to drive still, and I won $100 million, I may have bought a Porsche because I've always wanted a Porsche for some Porsche 911.
Well, to be fair, those are cheaper than a lot of what would be considered exotic cars or, yeah.
Not anymore for the turbo. The turbos are expensive just as expensive as a Ferrari and Lamborghini these days.
I don't know. Last I knew, they were still kind of on the lower end, unless you got a few.
Oh yeah, there are
know,
lower priced ones, but I want the turbo. I want the 911 turbo or whatever the equivalent of that is these days. That's the one I always wanted when I was younger. Oh, let's see. Out there in the chat, Jason says he'd buy 6 whores and a personal paramedic. Oh, I didn't think you were offended, Chris. No worries there. And Artex says, if you won 100 million, you would know very quickly: cocaine, hookers, and a new body.
Hey man, whoever wins, you better get like a private island or property where you throw a get together for all us that wished you well.
The crazy part is we're at 100 million these days. Remember when 100 million dollars in the lottery was the big prize? That shit gets up to $1 billion now.
Yeah, I just had to throw a number. I don't know. Yeah, but really, I mean, 100 million is pretty good because you figure if you just took that straight, they're gonna whack like, I don't know, 47%, for taxes or some shit, probably guesstimating.
Yeah, I think if you win the Powerball and you opt for the one lump fee, you lose like 50% of the winnings.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit less than 50, but whatever. But around 50%. So say you got like 50 million. I mean, if you can have that collect interest, like I did the math on it, even just $1 million a long time ago. I can't remember what it was. But the problem now is finding places where your money's going to obtain it, like a regular bank or something. And that's another deal. I wouldn't put all that money in one bank, but you could pull interest off your money and just live off your interest. Basically, you don't even have to touch your money once you got like that. If you're not crazy.
One of the reasons why they take a large lump sum is they're punishing you for taking it all up front.
Yeah.
Because what they do,
man.
Yeah, what they do is they put the money in a bank account and let it accrue the interest, and then they pay you out whatever the monthly dividend is, and then they keep the interest.
Yeah, so they make money off it. Yeah. So so I'd take it and make money off it. That way, in the end, I could leave it or gift it to who I want, how I want, versus money being thrown back in the pot or however the hell that works. There being another step in between for it.
Yeah, I used to know somebody who worked for the lottery and said, yep, that's where they get you. If you take the lump sum, they're basically penalizing you for doing so.
I used to play that once in a while because I am not a gambler at all. So, I mean, very rarely. Like, but if I bought a scratch off, I'd buy that, like, Win for Life, I think it was called. That one where you, was it $1,000 or $2,000 a month or a week?
a week.
Yeah, week. Yeah, yeah. Like it's not a lot of money, but you can survive off that. Yeah, I mean,
It's
so
52 grand a year
yeah, yeah.
with a
I mean,
guaranteed payout of $1 million.
that's an average, the average American's income, maybe a little more. You know what I mean? So
Mhm.
technically, that would free you up to do, depending on your lifestyle, could free you up to explore every hobby, every desire you really ever had. I mean, when you think about it, how how blessed would you be in life?
So this economy, and any amount would be useful. Let's just put it. Let's be honest. Any extra that you could get.
That could be on top of a pension or your normal career, or maybe you just do a part-time job or something, so you got more time to do what you love. And some of your hobbies could create you money too. So I don't know. Yeah, it's creativity. It's down because I think because a lot of people are just struggling to survive. Yeah. Small businesses, you get penalized when you start coming up with stuff. In some cases, so it's just I don't know. Seems like it's getting stumped lately. We're all trying to be the same instead of exploring new ideas and things.
Yeah, everybody's too busy not just keeping up with the Joneses, but being the Joneses.
Yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah. We're getting locked in a box. Let's get the bills paid box. And all that production, technology, and everything was supposed to make life better for us.
Mm.
I went to the hospital this last week, and come to find out, the place got hacked, like the whole hospital chain or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them ransomware things.
Yeah.
So everything's down, all this shit, man. I had the best hospital experience I've ever had. Maybe there's something to that. Like, they're back to paper and this and that, but I got in just like that, was seen just like that, ran through, did everything they had to do, and like way better, quicker than I've ever in my life. I don't know what the deal is. So it's weird. I don't go often, but it's strange.
Yep. Abigail's out there. Evening, Abby.
Apparently, I had a pissed off kidney. Thought it was possibly stones or appendix. Stones, I wouldn't care, but it felt a little different. Yeah, I wouldn't have went in a sense. I just would have had a miserable day. But no, this was pretty rough. So, and they got some fancy word for it. Obviously, they did tests, and then they figured it must be stones, then must be an infection, and then by the end of it all, it was we don't know what the hell it is. Your kidney's just pissed off. So they got a fancy word, but I don't recall it. But I was told if I don't piss blood in the next 3 days, I should be good. Follow up with this other guy. I don't really plan on doing that. But yeah, that's how a hospital works when it's hacked and running on paper. Then I don't know. Maybe not cheering for the hackers, but you know, I had a damn good experience personally. You get kidnapped? Mic drop? Well, sorry, folks. I don't know if he's God or if I'm God or what's going on here. Oh, he's saying his mic cut out, so maybe he'll do a switcheroo and be back with us. Just thought he got tired of hearing me bitching. Wouldn't be a normal show without technical difficulties, right? Oh, now he left his own show. So this is when I get to pitch the idea. So yeah, we're only looking for 100 grand, and we prefer cash. But if you can send that this way, we can get this prototype proof of concept vehicle going.
Oh no, you're not talking about the shit car again, are you?
Oh. Never mind.
Oh man. Yeah, my mic must have dropped because I was saying something and then you didn't respond. So I'm like, shit, here we go again. It happened on Gizzard Show a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I'm glad you're back because that was different.
I'm probably gonna have to get a new microphone.
You got one of them fancy ones or what?
No, I'm just using the one built into my webcam. The webcam works fine, but it seems like the microphone's having issues, possibly.
Yeah. No, you're gonna have to get on it for you keep this up. Who knows what somebody might be on here trying to sell?
Well, with you never know.
At least it's a practical, achievable idea with 100 big ones.
Yeah, I'm just not sure how well people would take off on that.
I think Jason was onto something. It would be ideal for the RV market.
Well, maybe the RV market.
Mm.
How big would the damn mechanism to make it work have to be, though?
Oh, that's just it. We got to kind of fit it all in. So, it's where R&D comes in, and it takes funding. Unfortunately, the government doesn't like the idea. I think there's pressure from big oil out there and whatnot, and people keep trying to blow me up and things like that ever since I started talking about this. So I don't know. That's why I say you want to get in, you gotta get in quick, because as soon as it gets going, I'm gonna get Hillary Clinton probably, but you get in now, you're part owner and you can carry it on, and we'll have the concept and everything.
Foss says you just need some kind of Mr. Fusion unit. Well, that would be to recycle any kind of garbage. The end of Back to the Future, Rob, in case you're missing the reference.
Yeah. So you got any topics?
Other than the announcement later, not really. I just figured we'd talk about whatever. Like, we didn't actually have physics as a topic last week. It just came up as a topic. out of nowhere. And Gabriel, I guess he's responding when I said about kidney infections and nephritis. Not as bad as trying to pass a hammered prison carry. No, but I'm not talking about simple nephritis either. I'm talking about a staph infection, which is much worse than nephritis. So, yeah, if you never had a staph infection, consider yourself lucky. You don't want one. It's not good. Doesn't matter what part of your body it's in. Not a good thing.
Well, staph infection will either lead to severe case, amputation, or death, and arthritis you're stuck with your whole life. So I don't know if you got bad enough arthritis.
Nephritis, not arthritis.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, your life
wrong itis, Rob.
All right.
I'd been in the hospital with nephritis a couple of times. I was in the hospital for well over a month with a staph infection. I'd rather deal with the former than the latter. It was more bladder infection. I was in the hospital for less than a month for. I think I did 3 stints in the hospital with bladder infections, and then that staph infection, which affected both my bladder and kidneys. That was not fun. That was like when I was 12. In fact, I was in the hospital for my 12th birthday when the staph infection happened. Buck's out there, evening Buck. Yeah, nothing like having a fever where you're spiking temperatures 103, 104.
So you were one of those kids, huh? Missed school and all this, got laid up.
Oh yeah, I missed a lot of school.
Cream, Jello, and play at home for like a month after the hospital and all this shit. Well, the rest of us were in there.
Hey, I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I would have rather been in school than have to sit in the hospital for a month.
Shit, yeah, whatever, man. I hope you enjoyed that ice cream.
Well, I was prescribed milkshakes to try and put weight on because I had lost so much weight.
Right, you son of a bitch. Us poor people, we got to fight for one. You're prescribed a milkshake?
There's 2 times in my life that I was prescribed milkshakes. One, that month I was in the hospital. Well, actually, it was over a month, but yeah. Anyway, which I also had to spend my 12th birthday in the hospital, so don't forget that part. And then the other time was when I was starting to play football, and the doctor said I was underweight, so he put me on those frozen milkshakes that you used to, that you would like heat up a little bit and they would melt and be a milkshake. Those kind of things. There was actually a medical store that sold those, so that my parents could get them on the insurance.
Is that dude still around?
Who, that doctor?
Yeah. Dude,
probably not. That was late 80s, early 90s, Rob, so I doubt it.
Well, look him up, man. He might remember you. Tell him you got a friend that needs some shakes.
Well, I'm not saying, Foss, that I didn't miss some school just because I didn't feel like going that day. But when I was 12, 11, from the time I was 11 to 13, I missed a lot of school because of being sick. Actually, it might have started when I was 10, now I think about it. Yeah.
No, how some kids just, got to miss so much school. Yeah, it's like the kids that take a bus in whenever the roads are bad, this and that, they don't show up. Yeah.
Well, I had to take 6th grade twice because I missed too many days the first time through, where they couldn't move me on to 7th grade, even though my grades were good enough and I made up a lot of the work. But because of the having to be in school for the 180 days rule, and I wasn't able to progress on to 7th grade, so I had to take 6th grade all over again.
Well, damn, man.
I was doing the work when I was in the hospital, and my parents made sure they got me the schoolwork and stuff to do it. But because of that rule, even though I was right on the same level everybody else as far as grades and shit, all the lessons were completed and everything, but because I wasn't actually in the chair in the classroom, I couldn't move on to 7th grade, which I thought was stupid, and I still think is stupid.
So was your mom one of them like hippie vegans when she was pregnant with you?
No.
Any of that weird stuff?
No.
You didn't come out all small and wimpy?
Mm-mm.
Were you the runt?
Nope. I'm the tallest out of my siblings.
Just checking. Did your neighborhood have a chemical plant?
No.
All right. So it was just bad luck.
Yep. Well, my brother ended up having leukemia. We couldn't win. My mother thinks it's the 3 Mile Island thing, that maybe some of that shit blew over to Pittsburgh, and that's what got me and my brother sick. That's her theory, anyway.
Maybe. I mean, would you believe the government reports on exactly where the cloud went or whatever? They could be wrong. You never know. And obviously, they're probably going to try to minimize damage. Especially, wasn't there a bunch of lawsuits and shit with that too?
I don't know, honestly.
I think people are supposed to get evacuated. Property was supposedly lost, and blah blah blah. Yeah, there's a lot of like strange history that's happened right here that you just don't hear about. And every once in a while you'll catch something. But yeah, we've had a lot of crazy stuff happen right here. Disasters and different things that went down.
Mm-hmm.
And that, what is it? Lover's Lane, Valentine Lane, whatever it is out there in Niagara Falls, where the whole thing was like a toxic dump at one time.
I don't know.
Whole big old thing about that. I mean,
I know what you're talking about. I just can't remember what the name of the place was.
Yeah, something like that. It was basically just a pit in between two streets that turned into a friggin' dump and then turned into like a toxic waste dump right there in neighborhoods of people and stuff. So a lot of crazy stuff.
Yep. There's still a lot of crazy stuff going on now. I mean, look what they just released happened at Camp Lejeune not that long ago.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, the chemical spills and the railways and things like this. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that goes on. So,
Phelps says it was the Love Canal.
The Love Canal? Something like
that. He said out there in the chat.
Yeah, pretty nasty ordeal. And shit, you got that town in PA where the
Oh yeah, the coal mine on fire underneath it.
Yeah, everybody had to
Yeah,
move because the whole place was lighted up on fire.
yeah.
So
That place. They say that place will probably burn for the next half a million years, depending on how much coal's still under there. And they would actually do more damage trying to put it out.
uh, shit, there was a movie I just watched. I had the lady watch it. I can't remember the name now, but damn, I think it had to do with that area because the whole place at the end of the movie basically pretty much sunk down into the ground from the coal mines and all that type of shit. Uh, but I wish I could remember the name of the movie because I thought it was a funny movie. It's stupid, yes, it's boy comical stupid, but it's funny. So I don't know if you like that type of
Yeah.
stuff, you like the movie.
Oh, there's lots of movies that are funny just because of how dumb they are.
You
My
had
wife
like
likes watching those like corny sci-fi movies because she'll sit there and just make fun of it as she's watching.
Chevy Chase is one of the main characters. What's that? Dan Aykroyd was a judge, like a crazy judge with like a bunch of makeup. Had like
Mhm.
a fake leg, prosthetic nose,
Yeah, I
ears.
think I know what movie you're talking about. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah, it was funny. I thought it was funny as hell. It's all about a trip upstate or whatever, somewhere into the country, some city slickers, and they get caught up in this small town with some crazy ass rules and stuff going on. Humpty Dumpty, I think, makes an appearance in it.
Yeah.
Get out like scot free, even though they're all smoking weed and shit and speeding and stuff. But this guy rolls through a stop sign and they're locked up for like 3 days. So it's a crazy movie.
Moose says nothing but trouble, and
That
so does
that's
Jason
probably,
Stewart.
that's probably it. Yeah, I don't know. And maybe I don't know. Am I the only one? I thought it was a good movie.
Mhm.
It's not like any all time best or nothing, but it was entertaining.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't. There's lots of movies that aren't Oscar contenders that are a lot more entertaining than what Oscar contenders are. Let's be honest.
And it's an old movie, so yeah, it's was always better back then. You know how it goes.
Mm-hmm. Pat and the bunkers out there in the chat. So even into Pat and even into Moo as well, who first thing he says is nothing but trouble. So yeah,
Yeah,
we
he's
know
probably.
that. We know that about you already, Moo. You don't have to tell us.
I believe that's the name of the movie. So yeah, it's pretty messed up. Yeah, guy gets forced into like a wedding, and at the very end, after everything goes crazy, and the feds turn out to know the judge, but the whole thing ends up going up in smoke. Somehow they survived, and the old coot or the judge or whatever is saying how he's gonna go live with his new son-in-law. like, like you just can't get away. So that's pretty funny.
And,
Go watch, folks. Yeah, if you want to kill some time.
yeah, but Jason, that would be a totally different kind of movie. His comment out there. Got it up on the screen right now.
uh, it could be a military movie, I guess, because there's several times I can recall hearing nut to butt, line up,
Yeah,
nut to butt,
right.
all that type of stuff.
Uh,
And yeah, there could be an issue, especially nowadays with everything that's okay in the military. So
yeah. Yeah, drill sergeant. Line up, nut the butt, but don't tell me if anything gay happens because we're not allowed to ask.
yeah. Well, I think that's all over with now. So
Yeah, they got rid of that. But
tell on the way in and sign up for services or something. Who knows?
Yeah, we went from
Yeah.
gays not allowed to keep it to yourself and don't tell anybody and you might get away with it to now it's perfectly fine for them to be in
Yeah, yeah, basically. And shit, we got generals now wearing, makeup and
there. Good Lord.
all. It
Yeah.
just blows my mind.
Mm-hmm.
To each your own what you want to do in your house, but there used to be some guidelines of shit. I don't know. I don't know. Just turn into a damn free for all, I guess.
Yeah, the ones that annoy me are the ones like, keep your nose out of my bedroom. And then they go and parade in the streets, like out in San Francisco, where they hardly got any clothes on and stuff, saying that it's kid friendly and shit like that. Like, no, 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 that's got to stop. If a hetero couple had one of those pride parades like they do out in San Francisco, they'd be thrown in jail. Hey, Vanessa.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think a lot of this stuff is kind of funny because we get different holidays and everything. It's like every time we add something for one person, it's like segregating out the rest of the people. Yeah, I mean,
Well, that's
not
partly
to
the
say,
intent. They want to separate everybody. They want to keep everybody at each other's throats so they don't pay attention to what's going on.
yeah, but honestly, I think guys should have White History Month. Yeah, we got Black History Month, and most of it's bullshit, but you guys should have White History Month.
Speaking of that,
Or, uh,
did, I know you're not a gamer, but did you see what the company Ubisoft is doing with the next game in the Assassin's Creed franchise?
no.
Okay. Back in feudal Japan, there was a black guy who was basically a sword bearer for one of the samurai. Ubisoft went and made this guy in their latest Assassin's Creed franchise game, which basically are all based on history at some point, and made him a full-fledged samurai. And along with changing architectural design and stuff, to where it looks more like someplace in China or like Vietnam or somewhere along there. And the Japanese are pissed off. I think it's funny personally.
Uh,
Vanessa says, if you look, there are events assigned to darn near every day of the year all across the world. Yeah, and multiple things on per day as well. I mean, Christ, there's an International Pizza Day. If they're going to do an International Pizza Day, every pizza shop needs to give free pizza that day. If not, then it doesn't count.
almost seems like I don't know. Discredits it. Discredits it, kind of. Like when everybody gets a trophy. You know what I mean? It does. It does. Trophies aren't worth shit anymore. You know what I mean? Kind of seems like one of them things. They're just throwing holidays out there for you all over the place, selectively, but all over the place.
Yeah. Well, look at International Women's Day. How can there be an International Women's Day when you have certain countries where women are treated no better than slaves?
Might be an idea. I mean, but an actual national holiday, I don't know.
Oh, it's some idiocy that the UN came up with. So, and no, I'm not trying to offend you women out there who may be watching or listening. I'm not saying having a day dedicated to women is bad, but for the UN to declare an International Women's Day and be the same organization that puts oppressive countries that are oppressive to women on the Human Rights Council, a bit of hypocrisy going on there.
Yeah, I don't think that. girls in here would think we would think something like that. I mean, yeah, the context of the conversation has been pretty, pretty obvious that what we're pointing at, just in general.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying that they would, but you never know who's going to show up watching who might have a problem with something you say. So I just wanted to clarify. Hey, Pat.
Howdy, gentlemen. How we doing tonight?
All right, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. How's Rob and Rich?
Not too bad.
Robbing the rich.
I mean, I could say the same as usual, but that's not good either. So
It happens. Unfortunately, but it happens.
yeah.
Anyway, thanks for having me on tonight, Rob and Rich. I appreciate it.
What are you saying thank you to him for? He's not the host.
No
I like Rob better.
Trying to make him feel good? Is that what it is?
No, I said I like Rob better.
Oh. Yeah, I said, yeah, you're trying to make him feel good.
No, I'm just playing around. No, thanks for having me on tonight, Rich. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm out there on the side chat too, and yeah, no, just have a little fun tonight.
Yeah.
What are y'all talking about?
You were out there in the chat and you don't know what we're talking about? Damn, you
Well,
don't pay attention.
I had to get some kids down, so I've been out the last 5 minutes. So
Let's see. Last time I was basically offending every woman who's watching the show.
well, that's not hard to do. Coming from you, Rich. Sorry, I'm playing.
I know. Wood says there's too many participation ribbons. Merit doesn't count. And Vanessa says she never gave out a participation trophy. If you make it through the course, you shall pat yourself on the back. I guess that's what she meant to say. Yeah, Wood says lack of parenting goes into all that. If your kid needs a safe space, you raised a snowflake. And we've also been joined out by Krabby Turtle. So evening, Krabby. And Vanessa goes on to say, no intelligence to learn stuff is a problem. Yes, it is.
Agreed.
And treating mental disorders as normal doesn't help either.
No.
Sure.
Ooh, sprinkles.
Yeah, I had myself, but yeah, doesn't matter who pays for the sprinkles as you get sprinkled.
Yeah. It's Sunday afternoon, and Rob is no salad, all sprinkle.
Krabby's asking me. He says he just got back from a nice little trip to Savage River, Maryland. He asked if that's close to me. I'm up near Cumberland, Krabby, so I'm not sure exactly where that is. You know, I'm in the Cumberland, Westernport, Maryland area. In fact, Westernport's like 5 minutes from here.
But anyway, so any topic or anything? So what's going on? Let's hear it.
Oh, it's right past Frostburg? Then yeah, it's fairly close then, Krabby. You should have said something, man. My wife had off today. We could have met up somewhere. Frostburg's like a half hour from here. Anyway.
The scary thing is, I actually know a couple people up by Frostburg, PA.
Maryland, Frostburg, Maryland.
Oh, yeah, that's a ways away.
Sorry, I didn't catch what you said.
I said, oh, sorry, a little farther away then.
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, Mr.
Mr. Knives is out there. Hide your chocolate, folks. Woods is asking for thoughts on the Ruger Max 9. He's thought about buying one. I haven't fired one, couldn't tell you, honestly.
I have got the wife one. It's been almost 4 years ago, and it's probably had pretty close to 300 to 400 rounds through it between her practicing with it and me messing with it, and it's it's held up good so far. I don't have any complaints, no jams. I've fed everything from brass to aluminum case through it, and zero stoppages. Uh, Pretty accurate. I can't complain. Can't complain.
Pat, I think you just misgendered Knives out there in the chat.
What? Oh shit! I pressed the wrong. There was a Mr. and Mrs. right there, and I think I hit the wrong one up at the top of that bar because I'm on my phone, keeping track of the chat, and I probably hit the wrong one. So, Mr. Knives, I am sorry. I owe you some chocolate now. So go to my channel at Pat in the Bunker, and I will send you a box full of Hershey's or whatever you're choosing.
It's not like he can look under a shell or something. So, I mean, you know.
Well, that's true, but he does proclaim himself to be a mister, so that was my fault. So, anywho, so yeah, if you do go to my channel, you can get my email address, and yeah, I will send you some chocolate, Mr. Knives. Mr. Knives.
They call him Mr. Knives. Who gets that movie reference?
Damn it. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember the name.
It was In the Heat of the Night, the Sidney Poitier movie that the TV show was based on.
Oh, there you go. Yep.
The line in the movie was, "They call me Mr. Tibbs."
Oh yeah, now he's sending out my That's right. I deserve it. Send some hate and discontent my way.
Boss got it. He said Mr. Tibbs before
I
said what it was. I'm not surprised that Foss would get
Thank
it.
you, Mojo.
Foss is like a movie history trivia buff, kind of. He knows a lot of these old movies.
Yeah, he does. And speaking of a lot of old movies, are you going to load it up or not? Oh, you mother. Sorry, DM Foss dropped me something the other day, and it's really cool. I'll be right back in a second.
Okay. I watched old movies on TV when I was homesick from school, Foss. So, yeah. At one point, the original AMC, back when it was actually a movie channel, when they showed all the old black and white movies and stuff, I would have that channel on all the time. It was one of the few that I got in the hospital when I was in there for the month, too. And it was better than watching daytime talk shows and that kind of garbage. Wood says In the Heat of the Night is a good cop movie. What's the best cop movie? We talking straight serious cop movies or comedies too? In the Heat of the Night's a pretty serious movie.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be towards the top of the list for certain. That's a great movie. Mississippi Burning's another really good one.
I think of you when you say that. I think of the song lyrics. Yeah, that song in the heat of the night. Like
Mhm.
I don't recall the movie.
It's from the late 60s, bro. But the TV show that was on in the 80s was based on it. 80s, early 90s, I think, is when the TV show was on. He's saying cop movies where they solve crimes. Well, okay, so we could include Lethal Weapon then. Or not Lethal Weapon, Naked Gun. Well, Lethal Weapon, he kind of solves a crime too in that movie, right?
What about Police Academy?
They didn't really solve crimes in that so much. I mean, there's crimes that were going on around them, but there wasn't one crime that they were like centered on trying to solve.
What was it?
Well, Police Academy 2, there was.
And
You could count Police Academy 2 in there if you want to. Yeah, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2. Yeah, Lethal Weapon 1 and 2. Yeah.
movies.
French Connection, Foss says. Krabby says the Pink Panther. Oh, yes, the Pink Panther series are, especially the first three, are awesome. Oh, Bullet. Yeah, that's a good one, Jason. One of the best car chases ever in that movie. The Dirty Harry franchise. Witness with Harrison Ford, thrown out there by Woods.
After this, we should do like best movie car.
Best
Or
movie
something.
car?
Yeah. Or Foss should do a bracket or something. Yeah.
There you go.
Something
Best
like
movie car.
that. Yeah.
The Family
like-
Truckster.
What is it?
God. With a dog leash behind it with no dog on it?
Yes, because the dog gave up after so many miles.
Running his heart out after about the first 3/4 of a mile, and poor Pooch just gave up.
Jason says 7 for movies. Yeah, 7 was a really good movie.
Oh yeah, that was a good movie with that would have been God damn, I'm drawing a blank. It was a really good movie.
Yeah.
Divergent?
Ooh. Good
Woods
movie.
was at Nighthawks. Yeah. It's a good
Mhm.
one. Wolfen. You remember Wolfen? The one where they were investigating whether it was werewolves or wild dogs that were killing people? That was a good one, too. Now they're throwing out the cars. We're still on movies and they're already moving on to cars.
Yeah. Hold the cars. Hold the cars. We're because there's a lot of good movie cars out there.
Car?
That's what we should do. One of these days, we need to do a bracket on movie cars. I don't think anybody's done a bracket on the cars for movies. Did you say that? I didn't hear you.
Yeah. Rob said
Told you,
that.
my ears are bad, man. Give me a break. Come on, Rob. But yeah, I mean, that would definitely be something we could do one day. Is if somebody reminds me, put a bracket together, we could do like a movie car bracket.
That Mustang from Gone in 60 Seconds has to be on it. So,
what's the name of that car? Yes,
Yeah.
Eleanor.
That car's pulling like 2 in real life too. So I'm not even a Ford fan. Like car.
Yeah.
Knives is back to movie. He says Red Heat with Schwarzenegger and James Belushi. Got to make sure you get the right Belushi brother there.
Yep. Or just Heat. That was a good movie.
Yeah, but he focused mostly on the bad guys.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's true.
it's a crime
good
movie,
movie,
but is it really a quote-unquote police movie?
Probably not. Probably not. But still a good movie.
The car and Bullet was nice too, by the way.
Yeah.
The one McQueen was chasing the bad guy with. And he did his own stunts in that movie too. He was a very good driver.
Mm-hmm.
He actually raced cars.
Raced cars and motocross.
Yeah. And The Great Escape, all the motorcycle stunts that his character.
That was him.
That was him. He was actually doing it.
Yep. There wasn't anybody more qualified than him on set, fortunately. So yeah, he pulled it all off.
Barbecue says you can't have a police movie without the bad guys. Yes, but Heat is more of a caper movie than it is a police movie.
Yeah, it's more of a follow the money movie. Just chasing the bad guys.
Yeah, calling Heat a police movie would be like calling Ocean's 11 a police movie.
Yeah, agreed.
Take your pick, whether it's the original or the remake. Beverly Hills Cop.
Yes.
Yep, that's a good one, Krabby. Yep. And him and Foss said it right after he did. 48 hours. 48 hours and another 48 hours were both good. Saw another 48 hours in the theater when that one came out. Defense Dad said he wants the SUV from Tango and Cash, but I'll throw Tango and Cash in there as a movie. So that was pretty good too.
Mm-hmm.
Stallone and Russell in that one.
Isn't that like a Trailblazer?
It was a Trailblazer with a 1977 Caprice Classic Aero Coupe 2 rear glass mounted to the front.
Shit,
that's literally what it was.
Yeah.
All jacked up and everything, and you remember the old Aero Coupes, like the Monte Carlos and the Caprices, with that great big swooping back glass.
Yep.
On them. Yep. That's what it came from.
Well, Barbecue, I know what you were doing. You were defending Pat's pick, but I was countering your idea that about the bad guys, you don't have a cop movie. But if it's a movie that centers mostly on the bad guys, then it's not a cop movie.
It did look good for the time, though, Pat. That truck there.
Oh, no doubt. I would love to have something like that with that. It just looks sleek.
Defense Dad, no, that's not accurate. Trailblazers came out in the 70s. The Trailblazer was the original Chevy Blazer. They shortened the name to Blazer in the 80s. They were originally the Trailblazer.
Yeah, well, actually, if you want to get real technical, it was the GMC was the Jimmy, and Chevrolet was the Blazer after that. And,
well, that was when they came out with the S10 and the S15s.
Well, I'm still talking full size before the S10s and the S15s even came out.
I'm saying, and then they came out with the S10 and the S15s.
Yep.
Which went from being full size then to being the smaller
midget.
I don't know what you would call. I still don't know. Were they like compact SUVs? What the hell were they categorized?
I don't know. It was an
because you still had the full size ones too, if you remember.
Yeah, exactly. So I had a buddy that had actually my brother had the S10 Blazer, and then they had the Jimmy, which was the 4-door. So I don't know.
The S10 Blazer came with 2 or 4.
Yeah, and so did the I think the Jimmy was just exclusively Ford.
Yeah, you had the
I remember
S10 Blazer, and what was it? The S15 was the Jimmy, right?
Yeah, there you go. The S15 was the Jimmy. Yeah, there you go. If it was 4-door, it was Jimmy. If it was S10, it was Blazer. So I don't know. There's so much different stuff going on back then. It's hard to keep track, but
It's kind of funny how the car brands, like the models, tend to just, like they're the same models. You know what I mean? It's been so long that people forget in some senses, but they're all like something of something else prior, basically, is what it seems like. The majority. So, it's kind of strange. Like you figure they'd come up with some newer stuff, like newer names or something. Or it's horrible when they do something like the new Mustang and it comes out being an electric vehicle. Or
Well, they're not all electric. The Mustang station wagon is electric.
Yeah, but what we expect the car to be.
You don't know about that, Pat?
You would like it to be like that.
I heard about the electric Mustang, but a Mustang wagon? Really?
It's a station wagon. Yeah.
Damn it! They're just killing. Why don't you just take a great big knife, stab it in the back of muscle cars from the 60s and 70s, turn it sideways, and then shove it straight up the brainstem.
Well, I think they're coming out with a standard electric Mustang too, but yeah, the original ones were a station wagon.
Oh, God, what's the world fucking coming to? Just murder muscle cars. Just get rid of all of them and start all over again.
Yeah, it kind of had the same body styling as like the old Chevy what the hell from the 50s? What the hell was the name of that thing? The Nomad. Kind of had like a Nomad body styling to it, but it only
so they ripped off Chevy again.
Yeah. Well, you could say they ripped off Dodge because Dodge had that muscle car station wagon then earlier in this century. Can't remember the name of that thing either.
Is all the cars look the same? Like you can go across brands and they all damn near look the same. Like you put all the SUVs together, they're all fairly similar. The grill might be a little different, the shape of the headlights or this or that, but like from a distance, they damn near all look the same. Like, where's the, individuality, the originality? Where's the difference? You know what I mean? It's like everybody's the same. It's horrible.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Foss brings up a car that's probably not on a lot of people's radars, and that's the Ford Falcon from Mad Max.
Yeah.
That car was sweet.
Yeah, because they took that car, the Falcon, and they stretched it a little bit, and it was a different nose.
Well, that's the Australian version. That's why.
Well, right, but they even messed around with it with the Australian version.
Well, the front was the basic Australian version of the car, if I remember right. The body styling was a little bit different because, again, it was the Australian. I can't remember what they called it.
I can't remember what all they did. They did different on that, but
well, the steering wheel was on the wrong side.
Well, right. Obviously, because they're on the wrong. Because obviously they're on the wrong side of the road, so that's why they keep getting in accidents. Sorry to our Australian viewers out there, but yeah, we drive on the right side of the road.
That's not to say I wouldn't want the car. I mean, that thing was sweet as hell.
Oh yeah, especially with the supercharger on top. Oh hell yeah, all day long.
Yep, and all that gear he had in the passenger compartment on there. That was a sweet car.
Mm-hmm.
And remember, that was his police cruiser.
Yeah, the Interceptor. Well, he had the 4-door Interceptor, and then once that one got trashed, he went back and got the 2-door Interceptor with the supercharger, all black. It just had the lights on it, and went out. He was going headhunting after that.
And he still had it at the beginning of the Road Warrior, if you remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, he had it halfway through that movie until somewhere down the road, he had to swerve to miss something and wound up wrecking it. Then they killed his dog. Wrong move. You kill a man's dog, movie's over because you're going to die.
Killed his dog. No, if you kill a man's dog or cause his car to get wrecked, you're in trouble. If you do both at the same time,
you're a dead man.
Make sure your life insurance is in order.
So I guess we're getting into the cars now then?
I don't know. Well, technically, is Mad Max a cop movie?
Well, the first one was.
Yes, kind
of.
Right? He was after that gang.
Yep, he was after the motorcycle gang, and it was filmed primarily from his point of view. Yeah. And he came back and got revenge. So, yeah, I'd count that. I'd count that one.
Defense Dad says it's smelling good in his place. Kids making brownies. My wife made chocolate chip cookie brownies earlier. One where it's part chocolate chip cookie and part brownie.
Yep, those are good. Let's see. My favorite movie car of all time, or just movie cars. We already covered Bullet. Man, that's a really hard one. And we already covered Eleanor from Gone in 60 Seconds.
But that's a heist movie. That doesn't count. That's not a police movie.
Well, I'm just saying, just movie cars.
I know. I was just making a joke.
Okay.
Yeah, we're about to start a fight right here. That's doesn't count. Yes.
Cobra is a good police movie.
Oh yeah, the chopped 40 Merc. Yeah, that was a beautiful looking car. Don't know how it handled, but
Krabby on the car part says Herbie. How can you not love the Love Bug? Come on.
Yeah, Herbie was good. That was funny.
Wasn't a vampire barbecue. It was supposed to look like a dog.
Is anybody gonna pick Jackie Chan's Subaru and Cannibal Run?
Huh?
Oh, good one.
Yeah, that was sweet. That was sweet. That's up there with the car from Mad Max with all the gadgets inside.
Night vision, GPS, VHS.
Yeah, and it could go underwater and whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
The Mack truck from the Road Warrior.
How about
when they got it all decked out and everything with a great big grill guard and everything on it? Yeah.
What about what about the semi from Maximum Overdrive? The Green Goblin face on the front of it.
Yep, that had a Detroit B12 VS 7112 underneath the hood.
Then the days, great gas mileage.
Right? 2-stroke Detroit diesel.
Foss says the Ferrari GT Spider from Ferris Bueller. Except that car didn't turn out too well at the end.
Not really. Went backwards into a bunch of trees.
Yeah. Oh, the RV from Stripes. Yes, Woods.
Oh, awesome.
The urban combat vehicle.
Yep. The command center.
It wasn't a command center.
19
It was a command vehicle. I mean, combat vehicle.
Right.
Remember, it had guns and missile launchers and all kinds of shit on that thing.
Right. The original Smokey and the Bandit Trans Am, 1977,
Yeah, that
with
was
the
already listed.
55 HO underneath the hood.
I hear that car was a dog, and they actually used a different year for the movie. They had it classified as such, but it was something else. Apparently, a truck. I think it was a truck or a train. Somebody got in touch with GM, whatever. They got cars like donated for the movie type deal, and there was a railway accident or something. And so the cars didn't end up making it, and they ended up with the different cars, and they changed the front, I don't know, grill piece or something to fool everybody. And they ended up having to put, I think, nitrous or something in the car for it to actually, perform some of the scenes because the motor just wasn't capable. I don't know. It was a little thing I'd seen not long ago on the little documentary thing. So.
Well, the original show car still survives today. It does have the 455 HO Mark III engine underneath the hood. But again, that was the movie car that they showed off. Now, what they actually destroyed or ran around, I have no idea. And you could
they frequently,
right?
Yeah, but they frequently did that with movie and TV show cars. Look at the General Lee. Most of those were 440s, not the Hemi, which is what they always said it was.
And most of those were the 383 Magnums and not the 440 Hemis underneath the hood. And, 50 to 100 shot of nitrous underneath the hood will wind up a small block pretty tight.
Defense Dad says the troop transport from aliens. Nah, can't allow that one. That while it's a wheeled vehicle, it's hardly a car.
Armored transport.
Yes. That's hardly a car. That's more in line with a tank on wheels. That's disqualified.
Stop it! You blew out the transaxle. God, I'm trying to think of some really good ones, but man, a lot of the really good ones have already been mentioned through the side chat and everything.
The car that the 32 Ford that Humphrey Bogart had in the one movie he did. Damn, what was the name of the movie? God damn it, I can't think of the movie, but he had a 32 Ford coupe, and he had hidden guns all over the car.
Oh, that 32 Ford coupe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can't remember the name of the damn movie. It's one of my favorite movies, too, and I can't think of it. It was one, Lauren Bacall, where he's trying to solve what Lauren Bacall's sister may or may not have done in the movie, or what she was involved in the movie. I can't think of the freaking name of the movie, but that 32 Ford coupe was sweet in that movie, and it wasn't even a hot rod, but it was still a sweet car. When that movie came out, that car wasn't that old.
No. The Lamborghini from the original Cannonball Run.
With or without the girls?
With. of course, obviously.
We know Pat's wife is not within hearing.
Been in the dungeon.
No, she is. She's up there. She can hear me. she knows my vices. And they're all old now, so yeah, I just really don't want anything to do with them now. So It's fine. But yeah, there was a lot of the original. Well, no, that was Cannonball Run 2, because the original Cannonball Run had the Cobra.
Well, let's be honest. The Cannonball Run movies had a
and-
lot of good cars.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Look at the
original.
one, the Ferrari that Dean Martin and Sammy Davis were driving around and dressed as priests.
Fender Bomb. That's what Sammy Davis Jr.'s name was in that movie. Fender Bomb. I have no idea why that just came to me.
Don't know.
But yeah, both good movies. Cannonball Run and Cannonball Run 2. A lot of good.
The one that
Bigfoot.
Roger Moore had in
Bigfoot
two.
from
with all
from
the
two.
spelling accents. Oh no! Don't push that, darling.
You guys know.
Does and she goes flying out of the car. Ah!
Dude, where's my car? No, I'm joking. That's not a favorite movie car.
No, that was what, a Yugo?
It was something. Oh God, I don't know. It sucked.
Oh God.
Assume you guys
Oh,
all run was
sorry. Go ahead, Rob.
And the Lamborghini is what ended up supposedly killing it supposedly publicly. So I guess they claim it was a thing that people had started for a while. Some say it still goes on in secret, but it's all personal invite now type deal. But apparently some rich guy got wind of it and ordered this Lamborghini, and basically to compete in the competition, they thought it was getting to be unsafe and too publicized, basically. So they killed it. There's still actually events to this day where people still do it, but it's not ran by the same people anymore. So it's it's a knockoff. So, but people still post records basically to this day. Usually they wait a while because the laws and all that type of shit. There's something to do with a time frame. You got to wait so long to post it, but people do it in VWs down to sport bikes, and they still run it. But it goes, I think now it goes from, I don't know, it doesn't go all the way across the country anymore. I think it ends in Texas or something like that.
The family truckster was in Vacation, not Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, Summer Vacation. Yep.
Or not summer. No, it's just Vacation. National Lampoon's Vacation was the first one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right, Rob, because the last knockoff that they actually did from New York to LA was a Nissan, and you can actually go look this up on YouTube because it's been long enough. I think it was a Nissan something, and they had all the radios and everything stacked in there, and they got pulled over twice, I think, for illegal speed, and they just give them a ticket, and they just kept going. And they had, at that time, I don't know about now, but the documentary that I watched, from New York to LA, they had the fastest time. And they only stopped 2 or 3 times to fill the engine with oil and fuel, and that was it. And it was, I can't remember, they had the record time from New York to LA. And I would have loved to have done something like that. That would have been freaking epic.
If it was like a politician's kid, I would have done it. I'd probably do it every year. But, I ain't got that kind of money.
Right.
Well, Barbecue wants the Vista Cruiser from that 70s show.
God. Just get you a Ford LTD wagon.
We had one, and my stepfather wrecked it. Well, we had basically the same thing. It was a It was the Mercury Marquis wagon, but he wrecked it.
Yeah, a Malibu wagon, but at least that was Chevy.
Yeah, those actually. What year, Rob?
I don't remember, but I'm pretty sure it had more horsepower than my truck does.
Yeah, you're probably thinking about the late '60s
Uh,
Malibu with the curves and everything on it. Man,
yeah,
those things would run.
it had like curved back to it. I don't know what year because I was a kid, but thing was a freaking boat though. Tell you that, like fit like a damn, mattress in the back
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
with the seats.
those were station wagons. Those were station
Yeah,
wagons.
you could do that. That Mercury Marquis wagon we had when I was a kid. That you could put a mattress in the back of that thing, and we did. We would go on road trips with that, and we'd throw them. My parents would put a mattress in the back, so if kids got tired, we could lay back in the back, which you can't even do anymore. It wouldn't be legal these days. We would sleep in the back on the mattress that they put in the back of it.
Gas was cheap when families were taking things like that for road trips. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Big old V8s that got shitty horsepower in general. Big
Uh,
inefficient engines at the time, in a sense, where I couldn't imagine what the gas mileage was back then. Yeah.
mm-hmm. What I know was it was a 351 under the hood. So, give you any idea what kind of mileage that thing was getting. But that's when like gas was like 99 cents a gallon.
Yeah, probably cheaper. It had to be cheaper because I remember it being like 99 cents a gallon. So it had to be cheaper back when those cars were new.
Technically,
Mm-hmm.
Defense Dad, that was his wife's car on Home Improvement.
Yep.
He said Tim the Toolman Taylor's Nomad. Nope, that was his wife's car.
That he dropped the I-beam on.
Uh-huh.
Last great station wagon that anybody produced was the Buick Roadmaster in the 90s and had a Corvette motor underneath the hood. It was just detuned. You could take it back to the service station to your GM dealer and have them upload the Corvette stuff into it. Exact same motor, transmission, everything underneath the hood. Same running gear and everything. Have them put the Corvette program into the computer. You're adding 90 horsepower at least. And you could tune it up way
Mm-hmm.
beyond that too. So I would love to have a Buick Roadmaster with a undetained computer
Well,
in it.
you do know that there have been people that looked into it, right? If you took the V8 out of the Corvette and put it into the Camaro would be faster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were
Which is
years.
why they down tune it in the Camaro.
Yep. My cousin actually has a, was it 99 or 2000 when he graduated school, and they got him that Camaro that was a 98. It was only 2 years old and barely had any miles on it. He went in there and had them wipe the computer and put a supercharger underneath the hood. Holy crap, that thing was scary. Scary.
So did Foss agree to the bracket?
I don't know if Foss is doing a bracket on it. Why would Foss do the bracket? I said we would. Don't give him ideas. You're gonna make him steal what I want to do.
Well, when I first bring it up, I
Well-
said that's what Foss should do because he always occasionally does the brackets when they
You
don't get.
guys keep telling me I need to do a bracket.
Yep.
Then when we come up with an idea for me to do a future bracket, you're gonna try and give it to somebody else.
Well, initially it wasn't your idea. You just claimed it as yours.
Yeah, but we're brainstorming for this show, not his show. Let him brainstorm his show on his show.
Then you
I mean, he didn't even use his link to come on this show.
both do. Yeah, a movie motorcycle bracket wouldn't be a bad idea either.
Yeah, but there ain't nowhere near as many.
No, there's not. So that's a little more research probably for most.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Hayabusa, motherfucker.
I mean, there are movies that's centered around cars, for crying out loud. Ain't very many that's centered around a motorcycle. Ain't very many TV shows that's centered around a motorcycle. There was what?
It's because
Nighthawk
most
or whatever that was back in the 80s
handle a motorcycle.
was basically like Knight Rider on a motorcycle.
Isn't there a motorcycle in every Mission Impossible
I don't know. I've not watched any of those movies.
type of crap?
No, I take it back. I watched the first one and it was like, I never watched any of the other ones.
Well, I don't know about too many of the motorcycles in movies. I mean, I know a couple, but one of the coolest and most deadliest races when it comes to motorcycles has got to be the Isle of Man TT. Yikes. I've seen some footage from that. Oh, man. I've raced some nasty stuff back in the day, but I would never do that on a motorcycle. Just look it up on YouTube. Isle of Man TT. Yikes.
Barbecue brings up Ghost Rider as a motorcycle movie. Don't bring that movie up. That movie sucked. I can't stand Nicolas Cage, and he was horrible as Johnny Blaze.
I don't know, man. Those the car rally races where you're just running through the desert, all out. There is no path. It's GPS A to B. Not saying I can't compare what's had more accidents, but that's got to be pretty rough. There is no trail, there is no road. You know what I mean? You're just blazing a trail. So sometimes they group up, sometimes they're all separated. That's got to be a hell of a ride, and quite a long ride too. And that's got to add to it. When you're going day and night checkpoint type thing or whatever. So that's got to fatigue's got to have a price that comes with it, I guess. So
yeah, and on top of that, Rob, when they were doing the Dakar back in the 90s and early 2000s on TV, if you stopped, you were probably going to get hijacked and ransomed. Remember that? That happened several times on the Dakar Rally. When somebody had a blowout or something, they'd stop, and then all of a sudden they get swarmed by tribesmen, and they'd get held at gunpoint. And it was like, oh, we can't show this because the helicopter's got to stay away, or else they're going to blow their brains out, kind of deal. And man, nastiest race in the world is probably Dakar Rally, hands down. As far as danger, yeah, Dakar.
People are out there throwing out motorcycles now. Problem with doing a motorcycle bracket is I never really pay attention to motorcycles in movies. I legitimately could not come up with a list of movies with motorcycle movies. I just couldn't do it. I don't pay attention to them to find out what kind they are or anything like that. I just don't care enough about the motorcycles in the movies.
Ooh, yeah. DM Foss brought up a good one. The world's fastest Indian with Burt Monroe, real character in real life. I watched that and the actual documentary on him. That is a good watch. The movie and the documentary. That is a good watch. It really is.
That the one where it's like the old dude with the
Mm-hmm.
like the salt flats with a
Yep.
bike, like a cone around it or something, aerodynamics or something, homemade shit.
Yeah, it was a Streamliner motorcycle, and
Wow.
he still holds 2 or 3 of the speed records in his CC category in a Streamliner. If I'm remembering correctly, he still holds 2 to 3 of the records, even though he's dead, and it's stood since God. He went and did that in the late '60s, and he still holds damn near all the ones in Australia and what's the other one that I'm thinking of? He was a Kiwi. He wasn't from Australia. He was actually a Kiwi. But yeah, three different continents. He holds different records. Still to this day.
Mistaking a Kiwi for a Aussie will get you in
Yes.
trouble. Them's are fighting words in Australia.
That's why I said Australian and Kiwi. That's why I separated them, because I was not going to fall prey to that one. Somebody come across the pond and stab me in the back. Oi, prick!
Do they call the Pacific the pond? I thought that was just the Atlantic.
Well, whichever. Well, they got to come across some body of water. A great big pond. Ooh.
It's not a cement pond.
No.
Harley Davidson and the Marlboro Man. That was a good movie.
That was actually a good movie. I love that one.
Oh yeah, that's a fun movie. Is it going to win any Academy Awards? Nope, but it's just a fun, entertaining movie. Damn it, Harley!
Yeah.
I spent $4.25. You spent $25 and didn't hit shit.
Right. 454 converted into a 460. Yeah, I spent 9 cents.
No, it was a 44 converted to a 454.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, he had that. It was a Ruger Super Blackhawk, and what Harley Davidson. Yeah, no, Marlboro Man had a 44 Desert Eagle.
Yep.
He's like, I spent $4.25 and I took down 4 of them. You spent $25 and didn't hit shit.
Oh, what's the famous line from that movie? It's better to be dead and cool than alive and uncool. I've got it on DVD upstairs. I might have watched it.
I got it recorded on DVR. That movie's freaking awesome. Poor Big John Studd in that movie. Loses his bar, then gets killed.
Yep.
That was one of the last things he did before he died in real life.
Yep. It's a great movie, but like you said, no Academy Awards, no nothing. It's a classic.
Well, harder and harder, I think, to make good movies, at least when it comes to comedies and stuff. So everyone's so touchy about everything now. All this Hollywood culture with the politically correct stuff and everything. Like, there's a lot of good movies out there that just couldn't be made today. They just really couldn't. Which we probably said before, but it definitely has effect across the board. I think what we get to see now, it's kind of definitely I don't know, limited to what could be there.
Yeah, agreed.
If you hear what sounds like a stampede in the background, I got the laser pointer playing with the cats. Cats and lasers.
The Vespa from Roman Holiday? Really?
No, dude, don't laugh. Vespas are fun as hell to ride. If you've never ridden a Vespa or that type of scooter, they're freaking awesome. And depending on the size engine, you don't need a driver's license for them.
Well, I've driven 2 of them, and I thought they were absolute pieces. And maybe I got some bad ones or something, but man, they were pieces.
My friend's dad, when I was in middle and high school, had one, and we used to drive that ride that thing all over the neighborhood. That thing was a blast. Mainly because you don't need a driver's license to ride the damn things.
Never rode a Vespa that I'm aware of, but I've ridden a bunch of other ones. And in the end, I think riding anything, like riding's riding. It can be fun on whatever you're on. Even one of those old school where you pedal it to get it going, and thing sounds like it's going to explode the whole time, and you're doing like 15 tops or something. It can still be fun. It's all I don't know. Riding's riding, man. It's better than not riding at all.
And those Vespas got hell of fuel mileage too. Or like the little Honda scooters and stuff that are based on that kind of thing.
100 miles or 150 miles off like a 2-liter or something like that.
Mm-hmm. And the more powerful ones will maintain highway speed, so you can actually take them on the interstate, some of them. As long as the engine's below a certain size, there's no need to have a license for it.
Yeah, I think it's like 59 cc's or something like that. Then you don't need to be licensed, I believe. There you go. Little Honda, though. Yeah, that's better than a freaking moped, though, or whatever.
Yeah, it's a little 90 that I keep stored down in the bunker for the kids during the winter time. For whatever reason, this one's a little more susceptible to cold weather than the quads and everything. The carburetor hates the cold weather. But yeah, no, it's all relative, and it's all fun. But I'm just saying the 2 Vespas that I was on, they were smoking, and they were probably shot because they would hardly lug my light little, because I'm only 155, 160 on a good day. And they wouldn't hardly lug my light rear end around. So
yeah, they probably had problems.
I'm a Honda guy through and through. They're just reliable.
Yeah, Hondas, they're countable bikes. Like they're, when people look into bikes, if they do research, Hondas are what most people are going to point you at is a rider-friendly bike. You know what I mean? Whether beginners or experts. I like them. Obviously, I own a Suzuki, Yamaha. Don't think I've had a Honda as far as dirt bike, but I like them. Yeah, looked at them, but never ended up getting one. I'm aware of that I recall. At least not one to keep.
I told Amy if we get the money, I want to get one of the more powerful electric bikes and ride that around. where you can switch from it being a pedal bike or being powered by the electric motor on it. Those things, the electric motors, if you get the right ones, they can do about 60 miles an hour.
Do you ride a bicycle now?
Not now because of my knees. That's why I want the electric one.
Yeah. So what the hell are you getting pedal option for?
Because they come with a pedal option automatically.
Hey man, screw that. Just get one without a pedal option. You're not pedaling shit. You already
You
said
can't
that.
get the. No, what I was going to do was pedal it until my knees started bugging me. Then I would switch over to electric. You don't let me finish saying what I'm trying to say. But if you get one of the ones that, the more powerful ones, they can do up to 60 miles an hour on the electric motors.
Yeah, those big fat tired e-bikes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, some of those I've seen actually look kind of cool. You know, the ones you can take up in the mountains and stuff that have the right amount of horsepower and stuff. Those actually look cool, but man, if I'm gonna go riding for any distance, I'm taking one of my motorcycles or something. I've got
I can't do that because I can't get a driver's license for that.
I know.
That would be my option. That would be my first option too if I could do it.
Just ride dirty, man. Don't pull over.
You catch me riding dirty. That's what I did on my street bike for the first year. I was riding dirty for a year. It was licensed and insured, but I didn't have no license. I'm sorry, Rob. I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you going to say?
Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing.
Oh, okay.
We're almost at the 2-hour mark. I guess I should get to what our announcement is. So if any of you have read the community tab post that I've made, I need to get subscriber count up to at least 500 if I want to get media credentials for the Goals show, the GOA Leadership Summit that they're having in Knoxville, Tennessee in August. So wife and I were talking, we're going to be doing, if we hit our goal, we are going to be doing a big giveaway. We're looking at a knife on for a grand prize from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I haven't decided on what one yet, but we're going to buy that. And I contacted the folks at Smoky Mountain Knife Works, and they are sending swag packs to also give away as prizes. And these aren't going to be just stickers and patches. There's going to be something else included with those swag packs as well that I'm not going to get into until they get here. Then I'll show everybody what I'm talking about. But it's going to be a nice little swag pack. So what I need from everybody out there is to help promote the channel. Start, if you can, put out post, maybe make a little promotional video so we can get up to the 500 mark and I can give this stuff away to people on a future show. I'm thinking maybe end of June or early July, hopefully, is a target for when we can get this done. That'll give me enough time still to modify my application for the Goals show. And it would also allow me to have channel memberships for anybody out there who would like to help support the channel that way. And my second thing I would ask people to do is go to my website and use the Smoky Mountain Knife Works affiliate link there if you plan on buying anything, just to show them support, because they did not have to offer to send. I asked if they had like swag packs I could get a hold of. And the guy who's in charge of their media department contacted me back and said, yeah, they're going to send me the patches, stickers, and something else that, again, I'm not revealing yet. But I'm pretty sure if you factor in Smoky Mountain Knife Works, you might be able to figure out what it is that they're including with the swag packs. So, if you folks could do that and we get the channel up to 500 or more subscribers, there will definitely be a really nice giveaway being done on a future episode.
Oh, it's cool you're doing something. I think I should add, I think you might be going about it wrong. And I know you probably don't want to hear this, especially on your own show and blah, 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 blah. But, bribing people, from what I hear, not bribing people
It's not
necessarily.
bribing people. It's
Yeah, but look, just hear me out. Hear me out. From what I hear, people do that.
But they're going to be promoting this fact that we're doing the giveaway.
People, and then they just disappear after the giveaway. So, I mean, is that really going to help you out with having the numbers in the long run?
As long as they don't unsubscribe.
Well, I don't. They do. This is what I hear. I don't do the giveaway thing, but if you're doing that, then really it's just a temporary use, which isn't going to hold. What could be done, maybe we come up with or something, and have a reason for people to stop by instead of hearing us talk about my crap powered car and whatever the hell. You know what I mean? It might attract more people. I'm not bitching or anything. I'm just pointing out what I think is obvious.
Yeah, gotta do it in baby steps.
I don't know. I'm just trying to help.
I know.
Yeah, I don't look at me. I'm at 355, and I've been there for a while, so I'm just doing it for fun. So don't look at me.
You only gotta get like 120. I only need like 120 more subscribers.
I'm sure a giveaway could probably get them, but I just don't know if you're going to keep them. From what I hear, because I personally don't have experience in it, so it's like, I may be wrong to begin with.
Well, it helped Gary. That's how Gary really started getting his subscriber count up, was when they did that giveaway. They were giving away a gun. I don't have the money to give away a gun. When they did the subscriber thing for him to get up to 1,000, so he could go to SHOT without having to do it on somebody else's channel name, under somebody else's channel name, that the Snob and Obi and Sarge acquired a gun for him to do it on a giveaway.
Yeah, I've done giveaways, but it's just little stuff on other people's channel. Just because other people have
see, that's why you're not getting any subs, Pat. You're you're doing giveaways on other people's channels and not your own.
Well, that's because I don't do a live, because I don't have the time.
I know. I get that. I was joking.
I know you were. I was giving my rebuttal. I wish I did. I wish. Well, and actually, me and Rob talked about that. What, 2 years ago? Now, somewhere right around in there, actually doing. This was our thoughts and everything. We were just tossing around some ideas and everything, but me and Rob actually thought about doing a show about 2 years ago, but then I started picking up more business from farming and everything else, and man, I just don't have the time to do it. I really don't. I wish I did. I wish I had time like what Rich or Gizzard or all the other guys did. I really wish I had time to do my own, but I just don't. I really don't. Even though it would be fun, with me and Rob tossed around a couple ideas on how the show would work and everything, and how to do it, but it never went anything farther than that. I mean,
M. Gabriel says that we have almost the same amount of subs. See, if Pat gives me his subs, we'll be over the limit right then and there. Give me your subs, Pat. Problem is, some of those probably overlap.
Come and take them, motherfucker. No, I'm just messing.
If we can't have the giveaway, it's Pat's fault, folks, because he's not giving me his subs.
Oh, that's funny. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I saw it. It finally popped up on my screen. But no, I just do it for fun. I mean, I don't have time to do anything else.
You know what?
Just like that.
That's something. I found a way that the NRA is better than the GOA. The NRA gives me media credentials without having to have 500 subs.
Well, there's that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. What were you going to say, Rob?
Oh, I don't recall. I was speaking to other people here. My apologies. So
It happens. Like the night on Gary's show where I yelled to shut the hell up, and I wasn't talking to anybody on the panel. I forgot. I didn't realize I wasn't muted when I said it. I was yelling at one of the cats because he wouldn't shut up. Cat kept me yelling his damn full head off.
Yeah, I did that with the kids one night.
fancy popcorn.
It's not polite if you don't have enough to share with everybody else, Rob.
I sent him back to Squib, although I don't think he appreciated it. Different flavor. I got here peppermint infused white chocolate, I don't even know, something infused.
When I was a kid, there was a store at in Century 3 Mall in just outside of Pittsburgh, and they had a popcorn store. That's all they sold was various flavors of popcorn. Some of that stuff was really good. They had your basic like butter popcorn and caramel and toffee covered, but they also had like cherry popcorn, peppermint popcorn, banana flavor popcorn, all kinds of like different candy coated popcorns. It was really good.
You know, I'm pets. Cracker Jacks. I don't know when the last you guys got Cracker Jacks was, but
it wasn't very good the last time I had it.
They did a stupid sticker with a code thing you got to go to online as a prize now.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
oh, really?
Yeah, yep. What the hell, man? Like, it's supposed to be like instant gratification. You know what I mean? You get something stupid. Maybe it's a driver's license. I don't know. You know, but you get something. But it's just sticker. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Really in the box, the way it's been for years.
Yeah, I mean, I got.
Come on.
I got a baseball Hall of Fame magnet that is hanging on our refrigerator that I got out of a box of Cracker Jack when I was a kid. And now you're lucky you get a stupid sticker. It's not even that good of a sticker. It's just
it's like a little sticker of a puppy or something. Like it's not just
yeah, and I'm with Rich on that one. The last time I had Cracker Jacks was over 2 years ago. And I always used to love grabbing up like 3 or 4 boxes a year, you know, just depending on where I was going, what I was doing, you know, grab up a box, chew on it. Always good up until about 2 years ago. And it almost tasted metallic.
Yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. Yeah, the flavor is off. It doesn't taste.
Yeah, it just, metal or something. I'm not sure what it was, but it was just.
I'd rather get a box of Fiddle Faddle or what the other one like that was than get that. They taste better and you don't get a stupid sticker.
Yep.
Not in the peanuts. Yeah, you're lucky to find 10 down in the bottom of the bag now.
Right. Yeah, it's just, I don't know. Everybody's slimmed back so far on everything and the taste and everything that, maybe it's a sign of the times or something. I don't know, but it's just the candies and stuff that we grew up on back in the day and the stuff that we used to love just doesn't measure up like it used to.
Well, they probably changed the recipe 30 times because they found out half the stuff was toxic or cancer causing, but it was good.
Right, Rob? It was good. Why'd you change it? Oh, well, it had mesothelioma as one of the main ingredients. Oh, okay.
Right. Some people like crack. Some people like regular Cracker Jacks.
Well, some people like meth. Wait, what were we talking about?
The original Coca-Cola blend.
I heard Rob say crack, so I said meth.
And then I went straight to cocaine.
Well, crack is cocaine. It's just different.
Yeah. It's the new crack.
Is that like new Coke?
Yeah, new Coke.
New crack. Crack is the new Coke.
New crack and new Coke. Oh, hell. Oh, that's fun.
We're going to hell.
Yep, pretty much. Hey, welcome, gentlemen. We're already here. I'll be right back.
Try crack. It's the new Coke. But they did something right because people would still buy that, but nobody was buying the new Coca-Cola. Not that I'm saying they did something right, as in good, for the customer, anyway, for their pocketbooks maybe. Anyway, I should probably shut up now. Oh boy, see what you started, Rob, when you said crack.
Well, it could substitute it for anything else. I don't know. It was just what popped in the head, I guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
Popcorn's pretty good, though. Called Jingle Bell Pops.
So you've had that stuff since Christmas, is what you're saying?
No, I just got it a little while ago and it was just open.
Yeah, people think that Jingle Bells is a Christmas song. It's not. It's a Thanksgiving song. Traditionally, somewhere along the line, people started playing it at Christmas too.
We're going to solve some of the world's problems.
I don't. Back in the day, you had snow at Thanksgiving too. I remember Thanksgivings when I was a kid where we had snow on the ground. Don't remember the last time we had snow in November where it was anything significant.
Yes, we are going to solve one problem tonight.
What, if crack is the new Coke?
No.
No? Oh, okay.
Well,
we solved that too, didn't we?
Well, yeah, kind of. We just created a new problem.
Well, we didn't create the problem. We just solved it.
All right. They just pushed it further down the line.
They didn't have the marketing and would know how to say, hey, look, crack is the new Coke. Before Coca-Cola did it with some stupid flavor that nobody wanted.
Right. Zero.
No, not zero. The new Coke. Remember the new Coke back in the 80s? That's why they brought back Coke. That's why they brought back the original called it Coca-Cola Classic.
Well, they tried marketing the original Coca-Cola Classic. Everybody'd be hooked on it right about now.
The original that it was back in the 80s, okay? Before they changed it. They brought back the old formula and marketed it alongside the new Coke, and it outsold new Coke like 10-1. So they just got rid of new Coke altogether and just started and eventually Coke Classic just became back to being Coke, and that was the end of that.
Yeah. Kind of like Pepsi when they went Pepsi Clear, or that crystal
Pepsi Clear. No, Pepsi Clear was a totally different flavor. Pepsi Clear originally was a Japanese flavor.
It was. And I actually didn't mind it. It wasn't one of my go-tos. No. But if somebody handed it to me to drink, yeah, I would have drank it. It was fine.
We don't get a fraction of the different varieties of Pepsi that are out there. There's a store in Japan, all they sell is different flavors of Pepsi. And it's a fairly decent sized store. There's another one not far from it where all they sell is different flavors of Kit Kat. A lot of the flavors of Kit Kat you're starting to see now in grocery stores and stuff, they're all originally from Japan.
Yep. But no, actually, one of the things I actually did get back to work on, Rich, and you're going to actually like this, the Double Barrel 1911.
Somebody already did one, though.
No. The 2 barrels stacked on top, like what we've been talking about for the last 5 years.
I know. It was that other one that made us try and figure out if there was a way to actually make it a true double barrel. Because remember, the other one's just 2 1911s glued together.
Right. Basically just cut, welded, and soldered together. You know.
Yeah, just like the double-barreled AR-15.
Yep. Pretty much. No, actually, you take, and here's where I'm redoing the design work on it. You take a double stacked 1911.
So 2011.
So yeah, basically, yep. With 2 barrels on top of each other, I'm going to use the recoil force from the bolts, because I was trying to figure out the elevator problem on it, trying to get the top barrel fed on it. I'm going to use the energy from the recoil to basically double feed that system. And I've got to jot it out. It's I don't have it loaded up in the CAD system or anything yet, but basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use that energy to double feed, so that way it literally gets it up into the second one. So, and I think if I've got the geometry and everything figured out, I think it can be done. Because you said something to me about 6 months ago when I was on your show last, and you said, "Well, what about that?" And I got to thinking about it again, and I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, let's use the inertia and the mass behind it. Use that as the energy to actually just do a double feed on it." So I'm getting closer. I haven't had a lot of time to work on it or anything. It's just a work in progress, but maybe in another 5 years I'll have it figured out.
What would be better? Using the Browning system, which everybody uses, or going with more of a gas power, kind of like a Desert Eagle?
Well, and see, I kind of thought about that too. With the actual gas power system on it, you're introducing a little bit more mechanics and stuff into it, but initially the result is going to be the same on it, because you have both bolts and everything recoiling at the same time. You have the exact same amount of basically energy and mass. And here's the problem that I'm going to run into: getting that magazine to double feed. That's going to be the next problem, is trying to get a magazine to double feed, whether I've got to add a new system into that to make it double feed. I'm sure I'm going to have to because it's just one at a time, unless you already have one stored somewhere in between the two bolts ready to go. Just click, click, and rip it twice kind of thing. So that way they're both loaded and everything's ready to go.
That's going to be
sketchy.
the issue. The issue is going to be the magazine. That's what we've always said. The issue is going to be the magazine, not to get it to feed.
Mm-hmm.
MK was asking, what? This is something we've been talking about for a few years now on this show. Every so often it gets brought back up because
4 years now, at least.
At least.
I mean, and we've all brainstormed about it, even off on podcasts and stuff, trying to get this thing figured out.
Yeah, even in the after chats. I mean, this is just something that a concept that we just haven't been able to let go of.
Right. No, it gets my brain going, and I still absolutely love it. It's just I don't have as much time to work on it as I used to. So I wish I did.
Next project's gonna be even bigger.
Uh-oh. What do we got going?
We're not talking about that car again, are we, Rob?
Oh, another one. I'm talking about the Home Defender. Belt.
Oh.
Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? I don't want to give away all the details yet, but yeah. Trust me, all those people buying bunkers and shit lately, all the rich people, they're going to buy at least 2 or 3 of these. Probably 4.
Yep. Yeah, if we can make that work, that'd probably be the first seller right there, is the Home Defender.
Might be. With all the craziness going on nowadays.
Yeah, unless you got a bunker like me, then,
Yeah, well, even if you do, what's the point of going topside if you don't have to, if it does the work automatically?
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I mean, if any of you seen the series Fallout?
No, I don't want to.
I
heard it's bad.
No, actually, it's good.
See,
it's good.
I've heard other people say it was bad, and that the people are complete morons and other stuff.
There's a lot of plot twists, especially right at the end, on how all those people got the vaults and everything. Yeah, it gets really nasty really quick. So, especially towards the tail end of the first season, it gets really interesting. So, I was skeptical too, and just started watching. It's like, oh, everybody's happy, and we're down here in these vaults and everything, and then you find out that there was a second nuke dropped on civilization because nobody could get along. After everybody, some of the people had come out of the vaults and reestablished life. So yeah, there's a lot of plot twists and stuff in it. So it's actually it's worth a watch. You just got to get past the first couple episodes, and after that, it gets really interesting. So. But yeah, I'm all for Rob's idea on the Home Defender. I think that one probably would break the glass ceiling, so to speak, first on ideas. But I'm not giving up on that over under 1911. Not yet.
If he gets these subscribers in here, we might be able to get the funding for proof of concept and get a few test and few models to start testing, but we'll
Yeah,
pet
no, and
somebody to kick Pat in the ass every like 3 times a day just to keep him on task, but
like I'm not busy enough.
Woods out there talking about Fallout said it's okay, but he never played the game. But Walter Goggins is the best actor ever. That's people that said that I know that said they've seen it other than Pat said that he was the best part of the series.
Mm-hmm. He is. He is. Along with the lead. I wish I could remember. It's been 2 weeks since the season quit. It's been 3 weeks, so I can't remember the other lead's name. But yeah, that guy makes half of the show for sure.
Well, he was great in Justified.
Mm-hmm. Justified and what was that? The LA Diet. God, what was the other one? There's another series in the last 2 or 3 years. But yeah, good actor. Regardless, doesn't matter. Good actor.
Wood says he could be in Jaws and play the shark. I don't know. I haven't seen very many sharks with legs.
Well, there was a great big fish with instead of teeth, it had human fingers to rake you down into its belly. That was kind of nasty. When they did the full screenshot of it coming up towards you, or like, oh God, it's a bunch of hands ready to rake me in.
Okay, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, that's all I'm giving away.
all the mermaids and Bigfoot and Mothman, all that stuff gets snatched up by the government and taken to Antarctica. Yeah, they're out there in a lab somewhere.
Yeah,
So.
Mothman lives in southern Washington.
Well, I'm sure some of his descendants do, but they probably got a big guy locked up and doing experiments and all that stuff.
Yeah, no, what you don't get, Rob, is the Mothman is the Yankee Marshal. He's from Point Pleasant, West Virginia, where the Mothman sightings happened. And after he moved away, there hasn't been a single Mothman sighting.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a lot of sense.
So by deductive reasoning, Yankee Marshal is the Mothman.
Clap for the Mothman.
Tell you, it's all fairy tale. It's all kid stuff. But yet they never give your blood back when they take it at the hospital, do they?
Nope.
Where's all that blood go? Is there a giant blood dumpster somewhere? No. The vampires pick it up. Everybody's.
I don't think the little bit of blood they take for a blood test is going to be enough to feed a vampire, Rob. They would have to be giving them the whole blood bank.
100 people. That adds up.
Oh, so that's why they need blood donations early in the spring, is because that's when the vampires wake up and they got to get them fed.
Yeah. Well, Wood says it's in Skamania, Washington, that Yankee lives. He says it's in the middle of nowhere. Perfect place for the Mothman to hide. Just more evidence that he's the Mothman. He lives in the middle of nowhere, so nobody bothers him.
Clap for the Mothman.
He could go out there with his mothy wings and fly around, and there's nobody to see him.
Yeah. Do you guys have any local legends in your area?
West Virginia's full of them, dude.
And we've got two of them down here on the river bottom where I live. The first one is the black goat, which he has been tamed and he is back in a pen now. So, but it lasted for 12 years. There was a
Shit.
there was a bunch of when the goat actual goats were really big for goat milk and everything, and then the bottom dropped out on the market. Everybody released them, and they went and they came and lived on the river bottom. And there was a black male goat been down there for 12 years, and all the deer hunters and everything just caught glimpses of him running through and effing up trail cameras and deer stands, at the bottoms and everything, just wrecking them. He's got the great big horns and everything on it. Somebody finally got him. They were archery hunting about, what was it, 3-4 years ago? And they were up there in the deer stand, and he came up to the deer stand and started wrecking it. And archery guy, goat didn't know he was there, and he got it. And he was kind of the local hero because he'd been messing up fences and trail cams and just everything on the river bottom fences. So yeah, that was one of our myths that was actually laid to rest. So it was a myth, and everybody just caught glimpses of him until he screwed up and decided to mess with a deer stand that somebody happened to be sitting in during archery in September for deer season.
We got legends here around here that go back to when the Indians were still populating everything. Werewolf and some kind of pterodactyl type monster and some fire-breathing lizard monster. That doesn't include the modern ones like Moundsville State Penitentiary, which is supposed to be one of the most haunted places in the country.
Yikes. I know which one you're talking about. I ain't stepping foot in that sumbitch.
There's also a sanitarium somewhere in the state that's supposed to be really haunted too.
No, not the sanitarium. No. No way in hell you're dragging my ass in the Warm Flag. The second one is a homeless man that's been roaming the river bottom for 15, 16 years now. And there's only been 2 people that have caught him. Even though there's been evidence of him having fires and campfires and stuff, on people's ground, different people's ground, stomped out and everything, and he leaves little to no trail. I actually tracked, I don't know if it was him or not, but I tracked somebody like that for about 3/4 to a mile back through the woods on my 3-wheeler. Just getting around on my quads and stuff until it disappeared back into the river. And I've got a buddy that lives about 10 miles away from me that tracked him 1.5 miles until it went back down to the river and disappeared. Whether there's any validity to that or not, I don't know. It's just we've followed foot tracks, broken branches, stuff where somebody has gone through and where there has been evidence of campfires and stuff through there. Now, whether it was just a vagrant making his way through or somebody just doing the through trip and just going out and camping, who knows? I honestly don't know. But yeah, that legend's been going for the last 10, 15 years now. So, not done it twice. So, and even by then, the trail was pretty old. Uh, who knows for sure if it's real or not? I don't know.
Wood says it's just a hobo. We have dozens and dozens of those in his neighborhood, Tacoma.
Yeah, but we don't have a whole lot of those come through here, um, especially down this river bottom with all the poison ivy and all the different stuff that we've got. It's just, it's, I don't know. It's just not the greatest place to camp down here. So I don't know whether it's real or not. Hobos or just passing through. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But that's just that's just kind of a local legend that somebody cooked up 15 years ago, and it's just like, okay, all right. Then I seen it, and I was like, ooh, footprints. Okay, well we'll track it.
Go along with the Mothman legend. There's supposed to be a man dressed all in black that shows up before there's a Mothman sighting. Like old time suit, kind of, black suit, like a Undertaker almost without the hat.
No, I'm not following that guy. Any legends up your way, Rob?
Not really that I can think of. I mean, there was, a guy that used to steal women's clothing off from clotheslines or porches or wherever and wear it and be seen.
No, that's just a pervert. We get
in America. I don't know, but there was boogers were a thing. Mainly that's out of PA though. People I've known from PA growing up, they'd call like the light where you have like a utility pole. A lot of places they'd call it a booger light out in the country, because people have been known to see things that don't match up. Basically, like either a wild man or Bigfoot type stuff. So, friend of mine grew up here and stay out of the dark or the woods at night and this and that, or the boogers will get you and all this type of stuff. So that was a big thing, which wasn't too far from my area, I guess you could say. So, but other than that, I can't really think of any real legends type things locally. So I don't know. I mean, every neighborhood's got like a haunted house according to kids, which probably isn't really a haunted house at all, stuff like that. But that's probably about it.
Didn't they up around your area, Rob? Didn't they actually catch a guy that was doing that stuff? Was actually just legit, like just busting into single or married ladies' houses and going through their panty drawers and just doing a panty raider, and they finally caught his ass. I've seen a documentary on weird serial stuff,
I don't
and wasn't that one up around your area?
I have no idea. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, there was a lady that rented a place across the street that woke up to a guy in her bedroom going through her drawers. Going through her drawers, looking at her drawers or something. I guess she woke up, seen him, was shocked, said, like, what the hell are you doing or something? And the guy didn't say nothing. I guess he just slowly turned and climbed back out her window and left. So, I mean, it's just a lot of weird shit. So.
Yeah, and how big is
dresser had
sorry.
jewelry on it too. So like he wasn't interested in that. He was interested in the underwear drawer. You know, that's some weird stuff. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he must get off on the smells or something. Apparently, I don't know. But no,
Oh,
I've
God.
seen that those like serial killers or rapists or anything like that, and there's just serial whatever. I mean, it's for every genre out there. But I think I remember seeing a documentary here 2, 3 years ago, and it was right up in your neck of the woods, if I remember right.
In line with that whole underwear thief thing. Did you going back to when we were talking about weird stuff in Japan? They have vending machines that sell used women's underwear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got vending machines that sell everything. Like everything you can think of, they got a vending machine for it. You know, stuff that you just wouldn't picture in vending machines. They have vending machines for it. It's crazy. Like you don't even really need to go to a store.
Wood says there are hobos out there. He's trying to bring the word hobo back, apparently. Have regular fights with machetes. See, now what you need to do is organize that shit. Build a cage and put them in a cage and then sell tickets.
And sell tickets. Sell tickets.
That's crazy, but it would be entertaining.
Yeah, it would be. Well, capitalism at its best. I mean, if they're going to fight, you might as well sell tickets, right?
Maybe pull the machetes out and just let them go at it with like cool noodles or something. That'll still be entertaining. Yeah.
Kimbo sticks, those Japanese fighting sticks, and just let them beat the hell out of each other with that. No health care. No, no emergency room trips. The loser dies.
He says it happens like once a month. Okay, then do a thing. Deal with Netflix and do it as a pay-per-view once a month.
Ding, 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 ding. In this corner. Let's get ready to rumble.
In this quarter, smelly red lumpkins. In this quarter, Stinky Pete.
Hey man, capitalism at its best. Last week, a machete versus hatchet.
Yeah.
Oh, reach versus heft. I mean, it's if you can get it, if you can work inside, if you can bob and weave.
Heck, man. You can do some pretty good damage with something like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I wouldn't. I would not stand in front of a machete or a hatchet and be volunteered to take a whack. Nope. That's why I own guns.
You do some pretty good damage with something like this.
You think?
And I have the perfect machete to go along with it. Two-handed fighting. Or hatchet and tomahawk.
So what do you call that? The Hoblagon?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we can call it that.
The Hoblagon.
Wood says that's why he has guns.
Exactly. I made up a word tonight. The Hoblagon.
If they're going to be crazy, put their crazy to good use, man. Make a couple bucks off of it.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Could be like the arena in Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome.
Yep. Chainsaw that dies with like 2 seconds of fuel in it. That sucks. I need at least 50 seconds worth of fuel. Come on. Oh. funny. Yep, I have a dark sense of humor.
He says it's a good idea, but it reeks of effort.
Yeah, but if you build it, they will come.
They're already there.
They're already there. All you have to do is build an arena, and they're just going to migrate naturally to the same place. And it's
Just tell them it's a tent city they can live in.
Yeah.
The cage is there to keep the bears out.
Ding, 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 ding. And in this corner. And then all of a sudden they hear loud voices, and then they either scatter or they fight each other. when the two things happen.
You have white noise in the fighting area so that they can't hear the crowd.
Yeah, a bunch of fans running. Anywho.
Probably wouldn't take long for the government to shut that down, though. Televised murder is probably ain't going to go over very well with the government.
I told you. Place the machetes and sticks with pool noodles. Somebody will still have a heart attack or get choked out, but at least it'll go on for a little bit. Like if you give them machetes, it's just it's gonna be too quick,
Okay, so basically, the hobo rules is no sharp edge weapons.
Yeah.
Sticks and pool noodles. Whatever they're bringing from the
somebody
forest.
with a stick, Pat.
Yeah, but it might knock them out, but at the same time, they're not going to lose the limb.
What's a mace or war club? It's just a weaponized stick.
Yeah, but it's better than a machete or a hatchet.
Let somebody whack you in the head with a mace and say it's better.
Yeah, but a mace doesn't it have like spikes and shit on the end of it?
No, not all of them.
Oh, okay.
Some of them would just be a big, heavy, round ball.
A light stick.
Some of them were flat.
Rule of thumb. It's the rule of thumb. God. Okay. Sorry. Boondock Saints. Flashback.
Like a pool noodle, plastic wiffle ball bat, like stuff like that. You really got to work at it to make it effective. That'll be entertaining.
Okay. I see where you're going with this now. Okay. All right.
Get whacked all out with one of them plastic bats. It's going to piss you off. It's not going to kill you. It's going to piss you off. You know what I mean?
What you need is those stuffed padded sword things that they used to have. Yep. Like they had in one episode of the Jeffersons back in the day where they were beating on each other with those things.
Last man standing gets a free weekend at the hotel, all you can eat.
Nice. Dinner. I like it, Rob.
Maybe a $100 shopping spree or something at a clothing store. Something.
What says
$300 at Walmart. Go wild.
What says he used to glue quarters to the ground to watch hobos try and pick them up. He also says he was a terrible person. Yeah. They would fight over the quarters.
Oh, that'd be funny. Why didn't I think of that?
Oh, I've seen homeless people fight over cans, empty aluminum cans in a dumpster that they were dumpster diving in, and somebody else comes along and starts taking the cans, and they get into a fight and start beating each other up with whatever they had laying there. Saw one smash a cinder block over another one's head doing that. They can be violent.
Oh. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is called civilized I'm not gonna finish that sentence. Yeah.
Well, you know, there's a code to stuff. These people that do this type of stuff, they have a routine, an area they work. They're out in the middle of the night. The other people like them, realize their competition, this and that. And everybody kind of takes a zone, and then sometimes people cross the zone and people do get crazy. They'll try to stab people up for it, all types of stuff. Lady across the street that does bottles and cans, and there's been people over here threatening her life and shit because she's been collecting, in their neighborhood or whatever. Everybody's got their own little, spots where people leave stuff just for them or this or that, and other people will follow and go snatch their shit up early one night or something or whatever. So they take it pretty personal. So from what I've seen, yeah, I personally think if they put this effort into doing something else, they'd be much better off. But it's like talking to a wall.
Yeah. Well, and unfortunately, a lot of those people have drug addiction or mental disorder or stuff like that. And I know we all laugh at that sometimes. And then I look back and it's like, how good do we have it? Versus those people. I mean, I'm definitely blessed for the life that I have versus those people out on the street and everything. So, I mean, I feel bad at the same time, but at the same time, it's just like, yeah, thank God I'm not them.
To your point, the homeless on the street numbers increased when they started closing the asylums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Reagan.
No, not Reagan. That happened. That started in the 70s. People blame Reagan. That's not Reagan's fault. That started in the 70s under Carter. And
Ford. Oh, really? He's the one that started that?
Ford and Carter are the ones that started that.
Oh, okay. Well, he's the one that finished it off. He closed them all. He closed
Reagan,
the
when he ran for president the first time in, 76, actually campaigned against Ford wanting to shut down the asylums.
God, where would we be now if the asylums weren't shut down and everything? I mean, granted, they'd probably be overpopulated by now, especially with everything that's going on now. But who knows with that shift where we'd be now? I mean, I'm just speculating at that point.
Yeah, and it was a knee-jerk reaction to the release of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That got everybody up in arms over the asylums. Instead of just fixing the asylums, their idea was to just close them all.
Definitely crazy. I mean, yeah, it's good you pointed that out because the asylums, from my understanding, they did have some serious problems that need to be addressed. But like everything we got these days, school system, whatever. But you don't just shut it down. Fix it in a sense because you can't ignore the problem. It just moves it to other people. Now it's the city residents' problem, the hospital's problem, the police department's problem, the sheriff's department's problem, the jail's problem. You know what I mean? They're just moving the problem around is all it's really doing. So you still got to address the problem. But yeah, it's definitely a big problem here in New York. So I mean, you got people that don't want to do better for themselves, and then you got a bunch of psychos, and then you got a bunch of mentally disabled people out on the streets. So you never know who you're dealing with. Like the stupidest thing, somebody might try to stab you over for nothing. Because they're truly a nut job. Stuff like that. So it's pretty crazy. A lot of these people, funding goes to a family member and they abuse it. They just take the funding. It's one guy that I used to bump into that I considered that I adopted or whatever. I don't know, whatever. I used to help the guy out. Like, I'd have to give him change because if you try to give him a dollar bill, like, he'd refuse it because those are the big ones. Like, I was trying to give him a few bucks, and he's like, there's too much, it's too big, but you can hand him a roll of quarters and the guy's fine. Like, he doesn't understand the difference. You know what I mean? Like, it's sad. Some of these people out there, they just don't eat. Like, in a way, I couldn't help him as much as I wanted to because he just didn't understand. So, it's weird. But
it's not necessarily that either. If he was living in a shelter,
no, this guy's just on the street. When I'd go over
I know
over by there.
I know somebody who volunteered in a shelter back when I was living in Pittsburgh, and they said if you're going to give them money, don't give them bills. If you give them bills and they go to the shelter that night when they go to get a shower or something, somebody's going to beat them up and take their money from them. If you give them coins, it doesn't register with some of the people at the shelter as much as it does the bigger, like dollars and stuff.
Huh.
Weird.
Okay.
But it's sad that there's people that bad off that are out there, living behind the cigarette store. So that's pretty shitty.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely 100% right, Rob. I mean, it is sad that, and that's why I come home and I count my blessings every single night when I'm able to come home and, after a hard day's work or anything, and I've got my kids and I got my family and I got my house and, I've got all the tools to protect that. I'm thankful. I really am, because, man, there's a lot of people out there that aren't that fortunate. So, anyway, I know we all poke fun at them, and I know there's some people out there that, victim of their own circumstance. We'll put it that way. That probably deserve it, and there's people out there that don't deserve it. So, anyway, I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, say you hate a Thor's accent. He says it costs us more now than that they shut them down. Yeah, he's right. It does.
Agreed.
It costs more now to clean up after them and all this other stuff than it did having the asylum still in place. Defense Dad wants to know, is Rob loaded yet? Are you drinking tonight, Rob?
Definitely not loaded. I only had one beer earlier, so I was forced to drink one out of the fire pit. But
so the answer to your question, Defense Dad, is no. He is not loaded.
Yeah, he's 1 to my 3 right now.
Yeah, I gotta
work. 0 to the 2 of your 4. So I got sweet tea.
I got a rare day off. It's been raining here all day long, so I haven't been playing.
Don't say rain. I am so sick of rain.
Well, bring more of it my way.
Past 2.5 weeks, that's all it's done is rain. I think we've had one day where it didn't rain, and that was the day they decided they were going to work on cable, and we didn't have cable for a day and a half, or internet, I should say.
I get mine through the man up above, Elon.
Oh, I was going to say, you get holy internet?
Yeah, no, I was making a halfway joke there.
I know. And I was adding on to it, Pat. Jeez.
That's good. That's good. No, and actually, it's actually worked really good out here. I had no complaints. It takes a hell of a storm to block it. It really does. And even then, 5-minute outage, right back up. So you can't complain.
The start with the free implant?
No, So you buy the equipment, and then you have to drill and tap it into the back of your skull, and then you self-implant, and then no, no. You just buy the hardware, and the subscription is actually, from what we were getting with the upload speed and the download speed and everything, is $50 less on the subscription than what we were getting for our crappy internet cable, which we had no fiber, no nothing. It was coming through all of the old crap underground shit. And they said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna bring fiber over. We're gonna bring fiber over." They've been saying that for 5 years now. The trunk where the fiber is supposed to come from my nearest little town, is a mile away, and they've got to go underneath a river to get it to everybody on the south side of the river. They've been saying that for 5 years, and finally I just said, "Nope, I'm done." And
Defense
and they
Dad
still haven't done it, and that was a year ago.
Defense Dad says where he's at in Nebraska, it was storming like a mofo. He went to pick up his Walmart order, and it started hailing, so he went straight back home. Did you see the video that Roll Call put out like a week ago where it was hailing in his area up there in Indiana? Some of that hail was the size of a freaking baseball.
Yeah, I saw that. Did you see the train that got wiped out with the engineers on board in Nebraska, over by I think it was north of Lincoln? They were outside of the train, and tornado about a mile away, and they were out there filming, and they were like, "Oh, well, that kind of looks like it's coming our way. Oh shit, get back in the train." And they got back in the train. The tornado EF3 literally hit the train head on as they were stopped at a railroad crossing. And they ducked underneath and damn near smashed out all the windows on the train and wiped out all the cars behind them. Laid everything down. It was nasty.
I saw the one that hit Oklahoma a couple weeks ago. The thing was half a mile across.
Oh God. Yeah, that my mom and dad had went camping. They were on their way to Texas, and they stayed in that little town in the old district down there with all the old buildings and everything. And they said it was absolutely beautiful down there. They had everything restored, gone, just flattened.
Yeah, that was down near Tulsa area, if I remember right.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember the name of the town, but man, it was beautiful because Mom and Dad showed me pictures of it, and then I watched the video on that, and I was like, "Oh crap! All brick, brick and lumber and everything just gone, just flattened." Yep, that's the price different prices where you pay and where you live.
Well, we start wrapping this up on that note because we've been going for about 3 hours now. So, Rob, got anything you want to promote or anything before we get out of here? Anything you want to say before we get out of here?
Sorry, trying to hit the button thing. No, just thanks for joining us. Hopefully you learned something. All that knowledge tonight is free, but we're still looking for donations there, or people to get in on the vehicles and the home defender and whatnot. So let us know. Other than that, have a great evening. Stay safe, and we'll catch you next time.
All right. What about you, Pat?
Yeah, actually, I will do a little bit of promotion. I know most of our people that follow your channel and everybody else who's out here already know, but if you have a new shooter or if you just need to brush up, been away from firearms for a little bit, go to Decoding Firearms from John Petrolino, an easy read guide to general gun safety and use. It's got a lot of good pictures, different actions. It breaks down a lot of the stuff, how to handle just general safety stuff, just to be safe with your firearms, know exactly what you got in your hands and everything. Even some of the, it's even got clear to the back. It's got Second Amendment stuff and why we carry and everything. So yeah, good book for everybody to pick up, especially for the beginner on that. And he's a good guy. I've had several chats with him, and so yeah. And the Panzer video is now out, the 1-10x30 from Monstrum. So go to my channel, Pat in a Bunker, or Pat Hirsch, and that video is out. And I'd kind of do a dual roll on that Meade 77 grain boat tail hollow point ammunition test with that particular optic, and it's a good one. I'll let everybody decide on their own on that one. But yeah, thanks to the panel, and thanks for having me on, Rich. Appreciate it, and thanks to the side chat out there for coming out on a Sunday night. I know everybody's tired and everybody's wanting to get to bed, so yeah, I'll shut the hell up.
All right. Thanks for being on, you too. Appreciate it. And again, as Pat said and reiterate, thank you out there for watching. And keep an eye out for more information on the giveaway that we're going to be having. And as soon as I know more, I will let y'all know. I'll put out a video when I get the stuff from Smoky Mountain Knife Works, let you know what all's included in that with those swag packs that they're sending me. And like I said, there's going to be something that's not usually found in a swag pack that's going to be in these. Keep an eye out for that. And until next week, we will see y'all later. Have a good night, folks.
Stay safe. Carry your weapon.
Where did I put that outro?